All right, welcome everybody. It's Friday afternoon here in Calgary, 2:16 p.m. Welcome to the show, Talk with Anand. It's episode 15. As always, every 5 or 10 episodes, we have guests on board, and we have one special guest with us joining here soon. I'll have him on here shortly. But as always, let's kick off this segment with some traffic and weather, and then we'll kick it off with Flames, hockey talk, and much more. It will be Connor joining us shortly with the Flaming Talk podcast. He's a co-host of that podcast, along with Noah, a good friend of mine. And I want to thank Connor for being on here. We'll have him shortly up here. But let's talk traffic and weather real quick. Make sure you're up to date on your commute and go from there. All right, seeing no major delays out there in the city. Just slowdowns as always on McLeod Trail near the Chinook Shopping Center. It's holiday time, of course. Hopefully, everybody is ready and excited for the holidays coming up. I just started my holidays. It's time for the weekend, and my semester just ended. Hopefully, everybody's ready and excited for Christmas coming up. We have lots to talk about this afternoon regarding the flames and holidays as well. We'll get those answered shortly for you. And then, weather wise, will we have a white Christmas? That's the question we are all asking. Next few days, weather looks great. Friday, today we will see a high of 0 degrees. Saturday, we'll see a high of 6. Sunday, high of 0. Monday, high of 4. Tuesday, high of -1. So does get a little colder. And then Wednesday and Thursday with a high of 7 degrees each. So it's going to be real interesting to see with the sunny out there. Will we see a white Christmas or not? I think that's the first question I'll ask Connor to start us off with this afternoon. Connor, welcome to the show. Thanks for joining us. My first question to you: do you think we'll see a white Christmas this year?
You know what? It's been really sunny for a little while here, so it's hard to say. It's hard to say. There has been just sun um, moments of snow that have came across Calgary. So we could. Right now, it's just looking all sunny. So right now, I'm not too confident, but again, it's Alberta, so the weather changes in a snap. So we'll see.
Yeah, definitely. It's Calgary, it's Alberta. We'll
Hmm.
see. We don't know what happens. We can get all four seasons at once. I know this morning I was driving along Shaginapi. That was clear and sunny. But then when I hit around, say, 16th Avenue, it got foggy. So you can expect anything around the city. So we'll see if it's going to be White Christmas or not. Once again, everybody, welcome to the stream. I'll just remind you, Twitter lines are open at CGY_Anand if you want to send us questions. Connor is also available on Twitter. I'll give you his handle in shortly if you want to ask him questions and we can share back and forth. And then our YouTube live chat is also at open at AU's vlog. So welcome. We are talking about Flames hockey. They played yesterday. They lost in shootout against the Minnesota Wild. 3-2. Close game, definitely, but shootouts are our enemies, and we all know that. We'll talk about that a little bit. We have a game coming tomorrow. They are back at home, the Calgary Flames, to face the Tampa Bay Lightning. We'll talk about the Tampa Bay Lightning as well, see how they performed. I know there is a game we can talk about yesterday and so much more. So, Connor, we'll start with what were your thoughts about yesterday's game?
Um, Again, a slow start to yesterday's game. There was a lot of kind of slow play. Wasn't a lot of pressure going on in our, especially our defensive zone. And whenever we tried to go into their O zone, the Minnesota's O zone, just there wasn't a lot going on. Again, one of our biggest struggles this year has been our starts, and it was shown again yesterday. Like the first 10 minutes, I'd say, and I think Ryan Huska actually said this, the first 10 minutes were atrocious. Like we looked like we weren't there to play. And then after that, it was a little better, but there were still definitely signs of struggle. um but at least with our ozone, our ozone break-ins and everything like that, at least I could see some improvement. But you know, we need to start improving on our starts, and we need to start looking into our D zone, how to be better, how to cover better, how to, and even our PK, how we can take those take those lanes, take that zone, and just actually do something um, in our own zone. So
Yeah, it's unfortunate enough with the Flames. We have a lot of issues everywhere. If you look at each of the sector, we have at least one or two issues to point out. You started with the slow stats we had. That's a problem that is being ongoing. You talked about the PK. It has been sort of good, but yesterday wasn't ideal. Power play, that's another issue. We can't generate enough scoring opportunities, or the power play is too predictable. Then we have defense. We know Kristanov is injured with the upper body, so he's missing out. So a lot of problems here and there. Now let's talk about a few players I have in mind. Yesterday, we know, if you listen to the Sportsnet 960 Flame Stock podcast, there is one player that everybody talked about, and you can probably guess, right, Connor?
yep,
Jonathan Huberdeau.
yep.
Let's talk about him. What are your thoughts? I know he was coming confident, especially when I saw the power play goal with he scored against Seattle Kraken. I want to say a month ago, but then that declined after that. Yeah, what are your thoughts on Jonathan Huberdeau?
He needs to do something. He needs to find something. He needs to start actually producing like just something, because right now all we're seeing negative effects. We're seeing like the goal that we saw yesterday, the first goal against us yesterday, was because of Huberto giving the puck away, a weak pass that ended up going onto the Minnesota stick, and it went top shelf. So like, what is it going to take right now? We saw a big chance for him to try to score on a bad angle, but he had an open net. But instead, he tries to pass it. Like, what kind of mindset do you have when you're starting to, like, you just become more confident in just passing the puck rather than finding a way to balance between shooting and passing? Again, he can make good plays, but if he is pressured, if he's under pressure, if he's in our defensive zone, or even in the O zone, and he's under pressure, he will lose 9 out of 10 times, and that's a big problem. That's something that he needs to start looking at how he can improve on, because it's screwing the team over, and he's starting to become a dead weight. It's not, and and as you can see from the first goal, it's having us suffer. So, 10.5, like this wouldn't be as big as of an issue, um, if it wasn't for the fact that he's being paid 10.5 million per year.
True. Yeah.
So, like, yeah, like if he was a dead weight because we thought he was going to be better, but he's only being paid like 5 million a year. Okay, you know what? That's not as big as an issue. But if he's being paid 10.5 million, which I think I heard something about, I think it's taking 12% of our cap. Um,
Possibly, yeah.
yeah, like that's not something that is acceptable. So it's one of two things. It's like, either get your crap together, or we'll put you in any position that we feel like we can, because at this point, that's, we need to work you now. We just need to work you, because if you're not going to do your job, then we're just going to work you, and we're going to get your money's worth. So you can start playing defense. You can start being on the fourth, the first, the fifth. You can start playing center. You can play both wing line. You can play, like, right.
Yeah, there
um
are lot of options, definitely. One of the bigger ones right now, I could see, hopefully Pelche can return back soon. I think the earliest timeline for him is around January,
yeah.
so hopefully Pelche can come back, give him a little spark. Um, I don't know
Something,
if
yeah.
scratching him would do much, but if it ends up do if it's that's the only solution, that's another thing looking at. Maybe, yeah. I mean, once it comes to options, there are options, but we don't know what will work best, right? Because if you
Mhm.
bench him, then he will lose again more of the ability to play, the confidence to play. And then we still need to wait to see when Pelche will return, when a person that suits him to play will be better. So, yeah, it's going to
Mhm.
be a tough trip for him ahead. I don't know if placing him with Kadri and sorry, Zari and Pospisil might work. I don't know. Because Kadri is doing better with them. I don't know if that's another possibility. What do you think?
I think right now the line, the Kadri Zarian Pospisil line, has been shown to do wonders right now,
Yeah,
and I don't think we should really change that line because they have been the most consistent. They've shown to have the most opportunities in the ozone. They've been shown to have the most consistency. So it's one of those things where I'd say if we do something to change up that line, that might screw up, you know, the consistency. That might screw up the opportunities that we get. And I just don't think that we need to change. We don't need to change anything. Um, so for Huberto at this point, I'd say I, at this point I just say because I think a lot of people do kind of want the Flames to start losing here or continue to lose. So I'd say keep him on the line that he is, and once Peltier comes back, or even if they get Coronado back up, put him on that line, put him on a line with Peltier and Coronado because we know about Serengovic is doing really well with his line. So I don't know if yeah,
yeah,
if Coronado and Peltier and Huberto get on a line and Huberto suddenly starts to really show some big or a big increase in his production, you know,
yeah,
then
definitely.
you might as well. So, anyways, yeah.
Yeah, we'll talk about Sharangovich as well. Yeah, he's been awesome. He's fantastic. People were at the beginning saying we that wasn't a perfect trade, but with the current road trip we had, his consistency in scoring, it's amazing. I know there are two parts of Flames players right now who are Flames fans, I guess, say, who first wants us to basically lose to get some kind of retool, readjusting, so that
Mm-hmm.
we can take care of the unrestricted free agents that includes Lindholm, Hannafin, and Dubé. Is Dubé an unrestricted?
Dubé, yeah, Dubé.
Yeah,
I think also Tanev, yeah. I
yeah,
think.
Tana also, yeah. So those are going to be interesting. We talked it about on the show yesterday. It's going to be an interesting trade deadline season coming up for the Flames to see what direction the management goes through. I'm going to ask you now about the goaltending. So we have three options right now:
Mhm.
uh, Dan Vladar, Dustin Wolf, Jacob Markstrom. We know Jacob Markstrom is coming back shortly, maybe not the game tomorrow, but I heard maybe for Monday. So that might suggest Dustin Wolf might get sent back down, which is not ideal. We all love Wolf, but then it will be Jacob Markstrom and Dan Vladar. What are your thoughts on Jacob Markstrom and Dan Vladar? I would say give them both couple games each to see how they perform, and then depending on, I think people might keep Jacob Marshall more, and then we might see a trade of Vladar. What do you think? How are your thoughts on our goaltending?
Well, Our goaltending has not been the problem this year as of right now. Um, so as for what I can say to like start looking at is I think they both Markstrom and Vladar need to be put up onto the market for for possible trades. Um, Markstrom is he's actually showing pretty decent numbers despite despite what's in front of him. He showed I'm thinking about that Montreal game. Like he shows he still has a really really solid foundation, and he can make the saves that he mostly can make. He still makes lets in those soft ones, but I think that if there is a team in front of him that can help him bounce back and help him with those hard difficult ones, he can absolutely be an asset for some teams that need a goaltender. So the first thing that I can think of is like for Markstrom, I can think of is LA. I can think of Edmonton. I can think of Carolina. One another one I'm just thinking of trying. Okay, well I'll stop at those three because I can't think of any more. But now we also have Vladar. Vladar has actually been playing pretty well. We saw his performance last night. He's been making good saves, even though the game on against Colorado did not go as planned and was pretty crappy end of the third period. Again, wasn't his fault. He is showing to be to be a good backup. So what between Vladar and Markstrom, I'd say put both of them up, and give an option between do you want a better or do you want a good backup or do you want a solid still a pretty solid starter for your team. So put both of them up, see about which team bites first about which goaltender, and then if they give you a good trade or they give you something good, then take it, and then you have Wolf and whoever is did not get to or did not catch the bait first. So yeah, yeah, for the goaltending situation I I think they have been solid. I think they've been actually like pretty good. So I think that what we can do is that we can absolutely look at some kind of trade like start looking at possibly trading them either now or slowly towards the deadline or like closer towards the deadline because they both shown a lot of promise, at least. Like Markstrom has shown a lot more promise, we'll say, than last year, and Vladar has shown that he can be a pretty good backup. So we'll see. We will see. But yeah, no. Like what I would say is just kind of go go for both.
Yeah,
Go.
definitely. I definitely agree with you. Your points are nailed on. Yeah, definitely. Flames have the two options. Vladar, who is the backup, and then we have Marshram, who is kind of an starter. So we'll see what happens down the road. It's going to be once again interesting with the goaltending situation since they have three options right now. I hope to see Wolf for maybe a couple more games. I think we might see him tomorrow. Fingers crossed to
I
see
hope.
how he does and go from there. All right, let's talk a little bit about the defensive side for the team. We talked about Kristanov a little bit, how his injury is hurting the team a little bit.
Mhm.
Then we have Mackenzie Weegar. Okay, let's talk about Mackenzie Weegar. He's amazing. One of the best blue liner too far. You could say he scores. He's on the defensive side. How do you read Jordan Osterley? Nick DeSimone. What are your thoughts about those Wranglers or call ups? Yeah,
Uh, well, first of all, I'll say about Uyghur is that
yeah,
if you want to talk about redemption, Uyghur has definitely started to show his redemption from last year, in between, after he got treated as well to Calgary from Florida. So that's good to see that he's actually started to step up, actually show both his offensive and defensive side. Um, Oshie D. Simone, I'm going to be honest, they haven't really shown a lot of, like they've had moments, but I can't really say that they've been, they haven't stood out. And for me, that's kind of something that you, as a wrangler, as a call up, need to try and show, just to say, I am going to step up to the plate to actually, try and either offensively or defensively, or try to make more, a bigger play than I would normally would, or try to help out a little further. I would dig a little deeper, right? But I haven't seen between both of them that they've done that. I've seen I've seen them again. I've seen them have their moment, both of them, but not consistently. Um, so that, I don't really know about what we're like. We have kind of we definitely have a struggling defense. Um, but yeah, I don't know. But between the two of them, they're just they haven't really stood out. So it's hard to say about what I feel about them, because I just haven't seen them. It's just been
yeah,
they've been there.
yeah. They're there in the roster, but yeah,
Mhm.
they haven't. We haven't heard much contributing for them. All right, we'll ask Connor a couple of questions
Mhm.
and wrap this up. But if you're on the Twitter, ask us questions. We are still on. YouTube live chat is also open. AS vlog. Feel free to ask us questions. We love the interaction as always. So Connor, my first question for you: we are going heading into the home game tomorrow
Mhm.
against the Tampa Bay Lightning, 8 p.m. game, a late one. My first question is: who is one key player you are looking out for and you have been so impressed about and want them to continue shining throughout?
So, um, well, there's been a couple. I think this has been pretty much said already. So Zari has shown unbelievable, and I mean unbelievable progress in his since his first game. As well, it, oh geez, now I'm blanking. Serengovich,
Yeah,
Serengovich as well. Like he went from a really risky trade with Toffoli to he's been one of our best finishers on the team. Like he has absolutely he stunned me for sure. His, like, whether it's just him starting plays, or whether it's his shot, it's just been unreal. His progress. He's another one that has impressed me, that I wish he would have gotten some more, like just some more wins and some better stats out of it, is Wolf. Wolf has impressed me. I've looked at the games where he is in, and there's nothing that I can say about the goals that have gone in, um, that have told me to say, oh well, he's struggling here, and there's been clear indication that he needs to do better here, and oh, that was an easy shot he could have saved, like that could have been very, but no, he has been very, very, he's been, for the most part, controlled his rebounds. He's tucked into the shots that have gotten to his chest, his body. He's stayed controlled. He's been moving, and with that, he's been moving extremely well. And the shots that mostly go in are just either bad bounces, on very unlucky bounces, or just one of those shots where it's a good fake and he's thinking he needs to go down. He tries to cover that other side, and then all of a sudden it's in. So again, he has impressed me though, because you would have seen it. I would have said, well, I can see he's struggling here, and I can see he's struggling there. But honestly, he's shown that his foundation is excellent. So I think what it really is it's just experience now. I mean, obviously he needs a better team in front of him, but it's more experience for him, and I hope he is able to get more experience. Whether that's him getting in tomorrow, or it's him getting into a backup position later in the year. We'll see, but I would just love to see something for Wolf where it gets him in, it gets him to play more. So, but we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, definitely. I agree with you. For the best player picks, definitely three players that everyone should watch out for. Connor Zari, amazing. Since the caller from the AHL, he has been performing, showing us that he's capable of being under pressure. He has been tried in the first line, I believe, couple games ago. He was tried at the third line with Zari, Kadri, Pospisil, amazing. And then Sharangovic, we talked it about earlier in the show itself, that he was a risky trade from Tyler Toffoli to getting Sharangovic. He had a slow start, definitely. I wouldn't say that getting adjusting to the team and all that. And then coming and now scoring consistently in, like, I think 3-4 games in a row now.
Yeah,
He gave us the tying goal few nights ago against the 4-4
he
game. Who
I
was it
no he
against?
got the first goal yesterday. It
Yeah,
was
first
it was
goal yesterday.
Cole.
Before yesterday, I think he got like two, right? Again,
No,
or
no. So it was Sarangovic that got the first goal to tie it 1-1, and then Coleman kind of got a lucky bounce, shorthanded, off the skate off the wild defender
yeah,
to
and
give
then
us the lead. So, yeah, that I believe that's what happened.
yeah, and then I think on the Vegas Golden Knights as well, he scored two of them. One of them was the game tying goal to take us into
Mhm.
overtime as well. So
Yes, yeah.
yeah, impressive. And then yeah, Dustin Wolf, obviously he's gonna be a key player to watch out for as well.
Mhm.
With his goaltending, we talked about it again. Amazing goalkeeper. He has the confidence. Just needs some more experience, some more games in the NHL. Hopefully, yeah, we can consider him as a backup down the road. Definitely. All right,
Mhm.
Connor. One final question. We are almost hitting the 30-minute mark. Thanks for. I don't want to keep you too long on this wonderful
It's,
Friday afternoon.
it's all good. It's all good.
But what are your predictions for tomorrow? So Tampa Bay Lightning, I'll talk about them a little. Yesterday they played against the Oilers. They snapped the Oilers winning streak. They lost 7-4. So what are your predictions for tomorrow against the Tampa Bay Lightning? I haven't followed closely the team as much, the Tampa Bay Lightning, but I know they were good yesterday. So what are your predictions, thoughts? What should we keep an eye out for?
Yeah. So it was. I just looked at kind of the stats yesterday about what was happening and whatnot. So I think the Lightning definitely got lucky yesterday because Stuart Skinner decided to be himself again. He let in, I think, six goals on 24 shots. I think something like that. And the Oilers had like 45 shots or 46 shots. So
ring, Rings the bell of last year Flame season.
yeah, they were against Vasilevsky, so they had goals, like Oilers had goals, but the Tampa got lucky with them either just placing perfect shots or just having Skinner having his off night again. So for me, I think what it is it'll be tomorrow. I think tomorrow what will happen is that it'll probably be um, it'll be a win for Tampa, but it will be I would say about I'd say 4-3 win for Tampa. I think it'll be a pretty close game until about 5-10 minutes left in the third when they start to really pressure and we start to do our usual thing, um, where we just kind of break down or so. Yeah, but basically, yeah. I just try, like, I'm just trying to think about where we could be able to improve on our both our beginnings and finishes. Um, but yeah, no, I that's pretty much all I have to say. I think it'll be a 4-3. It'll be a 4-3 loss, but I think at least what it will do is that there will be a good solid game at least. Like it'll be at least a good solid game because both teams are in a pretty, like, they're not in a great spot. Like obviously Calgary isn't, but Tampa isn't in a great spot either. So because if I look into the Sportsnet, look into the East, they are ninth in the East. So they're just outside of wild card spots. So they're not looking they're not looking 100% right now. So I think,
They are
but
fifth
yeah,
in the Pacific. Yeah.
yeah. So, but we'll see. We will see. Yeah, I don't know. It'll depend.
Yeah.
On what happens. But yeah.
Yeah, I'm working tomorrow, so hopefully I can come back to home for a decent game, even if they win or not. I just want that one decent game where they can put all their efforts in and
Mhm.
show us what they can do just to identify their identity, what the team is all about. So let's look forward to it. All right, Connor, thank you so much for being on the show. This is Talk with Anand. Have a great afternoon, everybody. Enjoy your weekend. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas. And we'll be back soon with another episode. Take care and have a good afternoon. It's Anand signing off with Talk with Anand and Connor as well.
Thank you.